Hey guys, it's Clint, the not so quiet quilter. Chelle is under the weather. Her neck has really been hurting. Just as a warning, I am hurting so bad right now. You know me, I would rather me hurt than Chelle. So I told her I'll do the video. She wanted to do a watercolor, um, start to finish book, junk journal. Um, And I wanted to do a new technique that I haven't done before, which is the flying geese. I've done it the half square way, but I really wanted something different. So, please bear with me. I apologize. Like I said, with Chelle being so sick, I went by myself yesterday, and I had a really busy day. We have a Fort Lewis College in Durango. Well, they also have Fort Lewis bull testing place, and that's what it was a bull testing place at one time. It's not that, and it's a very, very old place. It's well over 100 years. But anyway, they have all these corrals, and they're redoing all the waters and burying all new water lines because of the fact that their old ones are just rusting and they're full of rust, so they don't work very good. So I was there for 3 hours, and for that 3 hours, almost all of it, besides walking, was climbing 6-foot fences. So needless to say, it killed me. I am in bottom of my feet. They were aching so bad, and it was a very, very bad thing. I was so glad to get it done, but that's just part of it. That's why I'm here. So like I said, I wanted to do flying geese. I apologize. Chelle is occupied right now, so she'll be in a little bit. I wanted to do a flying geese center. So I actually tried this technique out first, since I'd never done it before. And this is a 4-inch square. It's a Creative Grids square. I really like the Creative Grids. I have several of those. It's got the non-stick coating on it here and there, and it's really good. So I cut this down. The blue, you guys can see? Okay, so this what mat I'm using is, and I love it. I know I talked about this before. I actually sprayed this with that non-slip spray that you use for rulers. Sorry, guys. And because it was very slick when I got it, and they said it wasn't supposed to be that way, but it was, and it was really frustrating for me. So I sprayed it with the ruler spray, and it works great. So I'm trying to be as precise as I possibly can, and that's why I'm cutting it this way. But I love this mat. You just rotor it, return it, and it works great. So I had 2 cut already, but I really got to thinking, because these aren't very. It's not very, what am I trying to say? It's not extremely big block. Okay, so that one's done. These are my existing blocks that I already cut. I got to looking at it when I was doing it. This is the other fabric that I got. Oh, wait, you know what? I think maybe I wanted it to be big enough. And I was afraid that it wouldn't be wide enough, wouldn't be long enough, so I thought I wasn't going to cut any more squares, so that's why I am doing it now. I was going to have these all done so you guys didn't have to look at the boring parts, so. But no, I had a good day. It was just hard. I'm hurting pretty bad, but I'm making it. I've hurt a lot worse. Dumb thing was we use the Quell, the pain management system. It's the TENS unit. I use it. Well, I couldn't use it because I was moving so much that I wasn't able to wear it. for 3 hours while I was there, but it also counts your steps. And I didn't have, I probably for at least an hour, I didn't have my phone on me, you know, and that counts steps. And I had, probably well over, probably close to 15,000 steps, but with it not being recorded, that sucked. But my phone had over 9,000, and like I said, I didn't have it on me probably for a good hour and a half or so. So, okay, guys. This technique was different. I'll show you how, sorry guys, I'll show you how they showed it. It was on, not Fonz and Porter, American Patchwork Quilting and Patchwork, I think is the name. I love that magazine, and I get it. I try to get all their specials and everything. But I watched a video on how to do it, because like I said, I've never really have done the flying geese pattern this way. So I've got my pencil. You know, I do have the heat pen, but it is a little thicker than I want for this. So you gotta, you know, you really want to be very precise as you possibly can. My little boy, my little Art, he's coming over, I think. I think he wants to say hi, and I will probably let him if he wants to. You guys don't get to see him very much. Hi, Bubba. He is Daddy's little Bubba. Me and him, it's just funny. He's just my little boy. So, here he is. Hi, Artie. You want to say hi, baby? Art. Arters. I love that little guy so much. He's been such a little joy. I've just enjoyed having him. Here he is. Come here, baby. There's little Art. He's still pretty little. He is such a sweetheart. Look at that face. Mwah. He is Daddy's little snuggle bunny. Me and him snuggle a lot, and he follows me all over, and he nurses on me. You know, he's really, me and him are bonded pretty well, and he lays with me, but he'll nurse, and then he'll be done. So, but he's been just so much fun. I just love my little thing. Him and Pard have started playing together. You guys know Pard's the black cat, and he's my cat, and he's extremely attached. I gotta tell you, it's so wild. I don't know, never could explain it, and it always amazes me about Pard and how me and him our spirits are so connected. But I was coming back from work, heading home, and I talked to Chelle, and told her, you know, Hannah, because I didn't have my phone, and I know she was worried about me, so I told her where I was, and you know, I had my GPS on, and she's seeing where I was, but you know, sometimes she'll text me and I don't answer. So, but I want to get straight. The good thing, but I called her when I was on the highway, because that was the easiest time for me to get a hold of her, and I told her, you know, Hannah, just so you know, I'm heading home. I'll be home shortly. And I was about a half hour or so away. And she said, boy, the second she got off the phone, Pard knew. He knew that I was coming home, and he acts so different when he figures out I'm coming home. And it just blows me away that for some reason me and him have this just an absolute spirit connection. It's so wild to talk to Chelle, you know, and just to hear he knows I'm coming home. So, sorry guys. Okay, this is the blue square, and I've got to cut these in squares. So I've lined my square up, and I know the center is easy to find. With this one, it's right on the very, kind of about in the center of the yellow. So when I cut this, that's about where I want to put my ruler. Instead of like one side or the other, I just kind of want to, so, but yeah, it was pretty wild when I was talking to, when I got home, I was talking to Chelle, and a lot of times I'll tell Pard, you know, oh Pard, I'm heading home, I'll be home shortly, and Chelle says, boy, she knows I'm heading home, even if I don't talk to her and tell her, she knows just by the way Pard acts. So, you know, him and little boy are playing a lot more, and I'm glad, because I was afraid. He's a very not jealous, but I'm his, you know, and you know, a lot of times he does, you know, if he wants to lay with me and Pard's or Art's with me, you know, maybe he gets a little upset, but it's not horrible. So I'm glad. I was, you know, I don't want my little Pard to be mad that, you know, I'm loving on the other little baby, but he seems to, they've been playing more and stuff, so I'm glad of that. You know, it's worry. Just 'cause, like I said, Pard is just amazingly, him and I are so connected, it just really just amazes me. So, I mean, so I had, Chelle said about the watercolor, and I was thinking about, you know, I really wanted to do something different that I haven't done before. And when I thought about the flying geese pattern, I thought, you know, that's really what I want to do. So, but Chelle cooked dinner for me when I got home. She had cooked chicken, corn, and quinoa. So I was so hungry. I didn't eat. Had a latte, and I ate a couple waffles here, and that was it. I was so hungry by the time I got home. Some of the jobs took longer than I had thought, and there was one that, you know, he didn't call out for a regular 811 locate, which I can't locate, so I called him up, so I didn't have to do that one. I just called up saying, you know, this one you guys need to have, because it was by the sidewalk. So one of the cats is talking. I don't know which one. Probably sounds like Bubby. Him and Art play together quite a bit, and they talk to each other that way, like wanting to come and play. So, but I was thinking of stories, and I know we have, our YouTube family has grown quite a bit. I know our other YouTube family members that have been with us for a while have heard it, but for those who haven't, for our new ones, Chelle and I, we mark underground utilities. And I've done it for, I believe, 29 years, 29, 30, I can't really remember. How I got started was my dad and I were extremely close. I mean, we actually worked, I lived with Dad for a long time, and we worked together so much, but we were very, very attached, or close, you know. So, and he's been gone. I talked to Mom yesterday, 17 years, or no, 16. But how Dad and I got started in it, we walked from just south of Denver to Borger, Texas. We were doing depth surveying. A lot of times, especially in that area, when the wind blows, the soil roads, you got farmers that work the fields with the high pressure pipelines. So that's what we were doing, was finding the depths of the pipeline. So it was wonderful. Dad walked farther than me. He cracked his rib and came home. That's I was living with Mom. I was staying with Mom, and he cracked his rib, and he said, "Well, we need another crew." There were two crews, and um, they didn't have everyone they needed, so they had to have. So I went ahead and I did it. So, and it was so much fun. What made me think about it was yesterday. Um, there was one time, we were walking through canyons and farm fields and just everywhere. It was an amazing experience. We walked through Boise City, Oklahoma, and Dilhart, Texas, and all these places, and it was so much fun. But what made me think about it was yesterday was all the cows, and I was told Chelle well, they weren't cows, they were bulls. They had a bunch of bulls over there at the Fort Lewis place. So, but when Dad and I walked to Texas, there was this whole pasture of cows, and there was one bull. He was a lucky bull. Sorry. And I've never been around cows back then, so I was nervous. You never know about them dumb bulls, what they're capable of. But he was really well behaved. He didn't charge us or anything, but he did. But he was interested in what we were doing, and so he was paying attention to us. Well, he was paying attention to us, so was the girls. And so they followed him everywhere. So, and there was a lot of cows there. So it was a tad bit nerve-wracking being around all those cows. But they never once hurt us. So, and yesterday there was cows everywhere. They were in the crowds, and the crowds are 6 foot high, and this is what I had to mark. So I asked him, I said, "Are those cows going to bug me?" He said, "Well, they might." And then he laughed after he showed me what I was supposed to do. I'm thinking, well, that ain't right. You need to stay in there while I'm walking around those dumb bulls. And you know what? None of them ever really paid much attention to me until the end. He wanted me to flag it, and I didn't flag. So he gave me some flags, and I ended up having to go back in that one and flag it. But I told him, I said, those flags ain't going to do no good because the dumb bulls were going to pull them out of the ground, and I've seen that happen. The cows will. But it turned out there was one place I didn't go in because of the bulls. They were walking around quite a bit more. So I try to stay away from them. But so now this technique is, let me show you. Let me do this. Got to line up point to point, and like I said, you really want to be very precise. So the way they showed it is you draw a line lightly. Okay. And then you put your foot and you sew your quarter. Run this through your sewing machine on this side, and then sew on this side, and then you cut them apart. Well, everyone knows that I am not the straightest sewer. I sew on a 100-year-old Singer hand crank, but I use a seam guide. So what I do instead of that, I just cut it in half like so, and then let me cut all these off real quick. I already did some like I showed you, because that way I wasn't taking up all your time. But so I try, whenever I do a pattern, I try to change it to the way I sew, and then that way it's a little bit with the seam guide, and I want it to be, no, Sophia, not now, honey. I know, sweetie, but I got a razor blade and you can't come over yet. So, put my cap on my glue because I'm done with it for a few minutes. Okay, guys. So, here's this procedure. There's that. And each block will make 4 flying geese. Here is my lovely wife.
Hi, guys.
So, let me grab my sewing machine. Let me think where I need to put this. Oh.
Happy Tuesday.
It's supposed to be, what, Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
And it's also Taco Tuesday. They fell on the same day, so they were talking about it out on the news. So let me put this here. Here, I'm not going to worry about pausing it because it's just right here. So let me...
Careful, though.
What?
Oh, it's so heavy.
Oh, I got it. Oh, God. Boy, that thing's heavy. There's my old Singer. I love my sewing machine. Okay. And I've already set my guide. Let's see. Neat. With being on the camera, I kind of have to do things different. So, or I will hit the camera thing.
Did you tell them it's a hand crank?
Yeah, hand crank. It's 104 years old this year, in December. So, I know, you guys think I'm crazy.
I know you are.
I was going to say, well, I kind of am. So... It's been so much fun. I just absolutely love sewing on this. Let me pull my threads out. So, and I'm going to chain piece. For those of you who don't know what it is, I'll show you. This makes life a lot easier for me. And well, for anyone really and truthfully. You don't waste as much thread. So let me get these. So, and I did not make this many on the first, and I haven't even finished those. I'll try to show it to you a little later, but I knew when I sewed them all together that it would be shorter than I would want. So that's why I decided to make a couple extra, and then I can, once I start sewing everything, I can adjust it to what I need. So, move my tea over there. No coffee. This is 7:30 this morning. Like I said, Chelle is still hurting really bad, and I can't. If I can help her with the pain, that's what I'm gonna do.
Thank you, baby.
So, so I know you guys can't see my seam guide, but it's a metal seam guide that screws onto the base of the sewing machine. And I love the sound of this. I really, really do. So you just go a few stitches past your end of your other one. I leave my needle down. I know with new sewing machines you don't a lot of times have this option, but with this one I can stop it at one stitch if I want to, and I can stop it with the needle up or down, and that makes life a lot simpler for me to do it that way. That's one reason why I like the hand cranks so much. They're very hard to use. They take a little while to get adjusted to the quirks of it, because it is, yeah, you only have one hand to do things, and so that kind of to guide your fabric into the, and so that kind of adds a little bit of yeah, but I'm used to it. Like I say, this is all I sew on. I know Chelle uses the electric one, the new one. I have Mom's electric, but it's not working right. It's they call it the baby sister of this one. It's a model 99 back from the 30s. So, but eventually I'll take it in. But truthfully, they're not really worth a lot of money. It is an event with case like this one. So, and I'm not going to iron in here. I got my iron in the kitchen. That little Bubba, keeps yanking the cord and pulls my dang sewing machine off the corner of the cabinet. Starting to irritate me now. And then I was in there ironing while I kept the cord up, and that little stinker, it was hanging, you know, an inch below that. Oh, little stinker jumped up and grabbed it again. Luckily, I was watching him because I was standing there, and yeah. So I had a little talk with him and told him that he's going to knock his crap off because it's going to end up killing him. It's not like it's a light plastic sewing machine. It's very heavy antique sewing machine, or iron. So, you know, I don't want him to get hurt, but it's very heavy, and yeah. But he's a turd, that little Arctic. He made an appearance, by the way, hon.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, so showed him his beautiful blue eyes. Grandma's been watching, and so I wanted to make sure she got to see little Artie. She thinks that Jazzy Lynn's a doll, and she is. She's such a
she
sweet.
pretty much is.
She is a doll. Me and her played straws yesterday. Not a whole long time, but before I went to work, you know. I left here, I think, about 7, just after 7. So, had to go up north of Durango for one locate. I had them all scattered all over, so. But getting back to Dad and I walking to Texas, I mean, we got in Boise City. Well, we got into Oklahoma, and we were probably about a mile or two in Oklahoma, and we walked through Colorado in the middle of summer. We never ever once saw a rattlesnake at all. Got into Oklahoma, and it had snowed, and it was absolutely bitter cold. It was windy. I bet the wind chill was well below zero. It was bitter. Dad stepped onto the road, and all of a sudden you hear these string of cuss words, and Dad's jumping on one leg with a snake hanging on his boot. So that dumb rattlesnake was on the road in the ditch, borrow ditch. So when he stepped on the ditch, it got him. Luckily, it did not go through his boot. It hit his sole, and it caught on the very edge. And we were sure it was because it was so bitter cold that rattlesnake was cold, so he wasn't able to strike very fast. So, okay, guys. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pause the video. So what we do now is I'm gonna iron these out like that on all of them, and then we'll show you the next part of it. So I will be back in a little bit. Guys, I'm back. So that's what they look like. Let me show them to you. I love the fabric. It definitely is watercolor looking. So now the other part. So you lay these out, you know. Try not to get them, since I just ironed them, I really want to. So take these, and what you're supposed to do is line this up in the center, face to face. This blue stuff really doesn't have a right and wrong side. If you can't really tell, you know, so I'm not really worried about that. So like to kind of have an idea how it's gonna fit, because you guys know since I don't pin and I glue instead, it's nice to have the glue in the center just to be safe. And you won't see this line. That's just really for me to make sure my glue is in the center. Dang it. Okay. The cap for my glue is plastic. This is Roxanne basting glue, and this is all I use. Sometimes I'll use Chelle's, that crap she uses. What's it called? Glitter. Art glitter glue. I knew I had it somewhere. If I really need it to dry fast, and you know. So you just put it in the corner, you know. Make sure you get it in the corner. And I'm gonna, looks pretty good. So that's what it's gonna look like right there. So I'm gonna glue all these up. Let me glue a couple more. I tell you, some days I think I'm losing my mind there. Boy, that glue sure comes out too fast. Did you go? Did you hear that, guys? She cleared her throat. Like, you've already lost it. I'm telling you right now.
Because
I'm really trying not to. So, I really enjoyed making the flying geese. I've always loved the look of it, but I've never done the techniques. So, I'm going to pause it, guys. There's no sense in you watching me. I've still got 4 more to go. That will save a little time. So, I'll be right back. I was shooting off her mouth in the background while I was doing this, just so you guys know. And that made me think I was going to tell you this. You know, most of you, I'm sure most of you know, I listen to blues. That's what I grew up with, was like Allman Brothers and Skinner and stuff back from the 70s. But I also, Dad loved blues, so he was a guitar player. And so I listened to blues all the time. And I have one CD, and it's Albert Collins, and it's Shut Your Mouth Woman, I think is the name of the song. And something about you big mouth woman, shut your mouth. I love that song, so I played it for Chelle. It's an awesome song. It's not, I don't think it's, to me it's not bad. I mean, it's, you know, it's funny. It's a really funny song.
I just ignoring.
But, you know, that, yeah. So it made me, I was actually thinking about that before she started shooting her mouth off. Probably because I knew she was going to do it. So, okay guys, I got my squares all glued down, ready to sew. So, you gotta cut like that down the center. And then we're going to sew this piece on. So let me do that. I'm not going to pause it. It won't take me very long to cut these. This is the exciting part when you get to this. Once you sew this and start ironing it, you're done with your flying geese. And to me it was so rewarding to see them completed. You really, guys, if you do this, really try to be as precise, as anal as you possibly can. Sorry, that's what Chelle said one day. So I'm never letting her live that one down. It's not anal, it's perfectionism.
It's precise, huh?
It is precise. I'm not. Yeah, see? Here comes that song in my head. Yeah, I remember that. I'm pretty sure that was one of them. You big mouth woman. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so funny.
The other one I love, and I can't remember who sang it.
Guys, see what I have to put up with?
Yeah, see, they know what I have to put up. There's Too Many Dirty Dishes. That one's awesome. I love that one. Tab Benoit, T-A-B-B-B-O-I-N-E-T, I think. He's a Cajun, and I listen to his music a lot. But he did a copy of it.
And then what was the one?
The Garbage Man?
Yeah, you ran off with the Garbage Man?
Yeah. His wife ran off with the Garbage Man and took all his money, and all he says is he needs his garbage dumped. Oh yeah. That's an old one too.
Garbage is taking up too much area.
Yeah, so he wishes his garbage man would come back. He don't care about her, but I wouldn't either. She ran off with the Garbage Man. I really like his music. Chelle does not really care for blues, but she actually likes Tab. and I have most of his albums.
There's a couple I like. He's really funny though. Just his stories and stuff like the
Oh, the dog.
Too Many Dirty Dishes, the dog.
The dog. What was the name of that song? No, that was shoot. Now I have to think about it because now I can't remember exactly what the name of the song
Can't
was.
remember what it was about. I don't know.
Oh, was it? The part of it was, oh, his mom told him the story of the little dog who couldn't see too well. He walked over a train track, and the train cut off a piece of his tail.
Yeah, that's good.
And, huh?
But that's good.
You don't want the other part? It isn't bad. I think it's funny myself, but it's. Oh, let me finish. Now they're gonna want to know what it is, hon.
Well, they'll have to look it up, won't they?
No. You don't want me to tell me? Really? It's good.
I suppose you can.
Okay. The dog never looked up, and he looked back at his tail, and he lost his whole head. And what's the moral of the song? What was it? He lost his life looking for a piece of tail, I think was how it went, something like that. Sorry, guys. I think it's funny, but, you know. Wish I could. Oh! Nah, dang. I cannot remember the name of that song. For the life of me. Oh, well.
I mean, it's a good moral, I guess.
It is a good moral, you know.
Just saying, keep your eyes forward.
Right, that's what it is saying, exactly.
And it's your,
Yep. Okay. So, more chain piecing. So, these are different. They go in the sewing machine different, which is awesome. Like I said, I usually try to start with my needle in the bed just because. So we got to go to our doctor's today at 3 o'clock or 3:30. I never can remember. So, and I got one locate here to do by the house that I'm going to do today. God has blessed us with so much work, and yeah, you know, I know I've told that, but you know, there's two things that I add. Well, there's a few more than two things, but every morning when I say grace, especially, I ask for God to keep us safe, and Him to give me enough strength to do my jobs. And of course, I thank Him for the blessing of all the work, even though I know it's killing me. But you know, someone's got to do it. So, that is the one thing I ask, and I tell you, the strength, to give me the strength, and God does. He gives me the strength to do the work every single time, but that's the caveat. I ask for God to give me the strength to do all the work, and He does. Problem is not a problem, but as soon as that last job is done, that's it. And it hits me, and when it hits so hard. I was in so much pain when I got home. But He did. He gave me the strength to do the jobs. And I wonder sometimes where... I know God gave me a lot of tenacity. I'm a very tenacious person, especially when it comes to work. I know it. But He does. It blows me away that I'm able to do this job, and I know it's just God, you know, God answering prayers, and also God giving me that tenacity. You know, I had he was digging around the whale house, pump house, you know, for a whale, and a lot of times the wells, water wells, you can actually hook onto the well itself, and it has to have power because it has a pump in that well, and so you usually just hook onto the casing of it, and it will locate. Well, a lot of times when they're doing the stupid wells, the pumps, they don't put the ground it's not grounded out to the casing, and it is tough. And I had one yesterday, and I called them up and I told them, you know, I am not finding this the well wire. I tried and I tried. I've hooked on both ends. I did this, did that. I'm not kidding you. I tried so hard trying to find that. And I told him, well, I ain't giving up yet. He said, well, you know, if you can't find it, I understand. That, you know, that is just something that happens. Don't worry about it. Well, that's not me. I mean, I work my... And I tell you, I did it. Took me a couple more tries. And I did find it. And there was also a communication for the well, and I had a hard time, but I actually was able to finally hook on in the well house and mark that. So I was happy I managed to get it all marked. I felt better about that. My 1 Century Tale boss, he told me one time, he told me I was too blank honest, because I am a very honest person. But he said, you are the most tenacious person I've ever had working for me, and I truly mean that is an absolute compliment. He said, you will not give up for nothing. You'll be out there for hours when you should say, you know what, I'm done, but I'll stay out there until I figure it out. I mean, there's been a couple times to where the phone line
and he'll go back the next day if he worries about it.
Yeah, I will too, and I'll figure it out. And
that's what your mom said.
Yeah.
It's kind of shocking that
yeah,
so much time and effort into making sure it's done correctly.
Yeah, exactly, and I do. And that's just the way, you know, Dad raised me and Mom raised me. I don't give up. I'll work on it as long as I possibly can. So I was just happy I found it. I called him and told him, okay, I found it. So this is the magical moment. I really wish you guys could see me doing it, but, you know, I will. You'll see the end result. And then we got to figure out, because I do have to trim these. Like Chelle said, I'm anal. But no, I ain't never going to let her forget that one. I want to trim them down just to make sure they are exactly the same or as close as I possibly can. I did have one yesterday that was a tad bit shy. It was only one. It drove me nuts. But I wasn't too worried about it because I knew I could make it up when I was sewing them together. So, thank goodness for that. So, like I said, I do not know how long this is going to be. I was telling Chelle, I found out a way to do it. So, guys, okay, this is the exciting part. Here it is. Some of them are going to have more color than the others. Let's see. This one isn't quite as brilliant. There's a few more like that, but there's some that have quite a bit of color. And I'm okay with that. I got my dog ears. I have to cut those off. And like I said, I really want it to be right. So the last one, let me check. Ow, God, that hurts. Ow, dang it. Sorry. I had it, they're in my, man, that hurts. So this is the ones I just did yesterday. So let me measure them. I need to measure them and make sure I'm doing the correct size, the height of it. I'm pretty sure I am. So let me make sure. If I remember right, it was just an 1/8 of an inch over a quarter. Okay, so it was, oh, I didn't even tell you guys, well, maybe I did. I used the 4-inch squares, so they're 4 inches wide. Well, not now, but they were. They're 3 1/4. You know, after you sew everything, you lose that. So they are, what, 3 1/4, and so they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. So they're 1 5/8 tall. Okay. So, yeah, these are the fabrics I used on these. So, I like how it turned out. But I didn't do quite as many. So, I got to cut off the dog ears. So, like I said, I really want it. And this is bowed, and that's okay. I'm not lining, you know, when you iron it, especially you use a spray, water, it will distort the fabric a little bit. So I'm lining my measurements on the ends, not necessarily the center. So I'll come back. Do that. That one we know is straight because we did it. This one's a little bit off, and like that. It doesn't take very much off, so probably use this one for that. Let me see here. Probably, let's see. This one doesn't have a lot. This one only has quarters. It doesn't have eighths. So I'm going to cut all this, the dog ears off. Sorry, guys. And it will straighten out a little bit, you know, each corner. So do a couple more, and then I'll pause the video. Chelle's been keeping time. She's over there tapping her foot.
I am not.
She is too. Don't believe her, guys. You know how she is. Tap, 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 tap. See how she is, guys? Oh, I tell you. I love her.
I have a timer on. It's not my foot.
Honey, you're supposed to go along. See, this one's really bowed. You can't... Oh well. Close enough for government work. This one's really bowed on the center. So that's good. I'll cut it. So, it's 1 5/8 is what the measurement is right there. So, and you can see even here, you probably can't see it very well, but the tips are up on this one too. So, you know, it's got to straighten up that whole thing. There was one thing about doing this to my board, the spray stuff. It has a tendency to... The threads have a tendency to really stick to it, so that's the one thing that's kind of, but I had a good day yesterday. It was just running, and was going to get a few groceries, but I know we had to go down today, and I was so dead tired. I asked Chelle, do I really need to get anything, or because we needed Motrin most of all. So I bought Motrin in the morning when I went to get gas and bought me some jelly beans. So, but gas is finally, well, it's not under $2 here yet. It should be, but it's not.
What was it?
If I remember right, City Market was $2.05, I think. So, you know. Still not under 2. It's kind of irritating because it really is not.
It's not far from being under 1.
I know it, and that's what's aggravating. But
didn't your mom say it was?
Mom said hers is, you know, she's on the east side of Colorado. She said hers is under 2. Can't quite remember how much.
She said it was like 150 or something.
Yeah, it was. It was 150 something. That's right. And we're
at 2.
We're at 2, so it's kind of aggravating. It really is aggravating, but you know, that's the price we have to pay to live here. You know, not everything is cheap here, but it's also not a super rich community either. So, you know, I mean, there's other places that pay a lot more for their gas. I know our property taxes are super low here where we live. I don't even think, are we even up to 200?
No.
So that's nice, you know, but then talking to Mom, her property taxes are through the roof. you know. So it's kind of, just so you guys know, this is going to be a two-parter. That's okay. See, if you look at this one, it wasn't quite, it's level. I mean, it's not level. It's straight from this point to this point, but it has a bow in, and I cut off just the dog ear a little bit. This will be sewn so you're not going to see it. So I don't really worry about it. I mean, as long as the ends are straight and it's not like more than, you know, a little bit off, you're all right, because you're sewing a 1/4 inch seam. So it's not like you're going to miss that curve, you know. I mean, if it was greater, you know, more than, I wouldn't want it any more than 1/8 of an inch. You know, to me that's you're getting too close to not being able to use that piece, you know. So, but we gotta go to town. I got, like I said, I have one locate here. You know, I did a lot this weekend. I had to put I put the radiator in the car, 4Runner, and I did get it. Got the radiator and the radio put in. So, and then I did all those ink blenders, which made me really hurt. But I did manage to get a lot done. I did get some of the other garden raised bed done, but I hadn't finished it yet.
I don't think I did anything.
Well, and Chelle, you know, Chelle just wasn't feeling great. I don't blame her, you know. Like I always say, I'd rather me hurt than her, so if I need to do it, I do. You see what I mean about the string sticks to that? That's the only bad thing about spraying it, but if you just scrape it a little bit, this stuff will come off, they said. I know they say it on the rulers, it will, so. But I'm glad I did spray it. It just makes it fur nicer. It holds the fabric so nice that you just don't have to worry about it too much. Don't have a lot. I'm going to go ahead and do the second part of the video after this one. I haven't showed you the, I do have the bowl material already cut.
Second video?
Yeah, I'm going to do a second video. Well, that's what I meant. Part two, whatever it is. Yeah, second part. I did happen to have one cut. I hate cutting that bowl material. It's such a pain in the butt. It's so long. So when we do cut it, we try to cut a couple, but I know Chelle wasn't doing very good, and I know I wasn't doing very good when I cut them. I was hurting pretty bad that day, so we only did 2. That way I would at least have, one is the mosaic piece I did. That one is, I've got it, put my sticky crap on it, and so it's stuck down the top, the mosaic pieces. I still got to do the back and also the binding on it. And then I have, I think, a travel journal cut. I don't have any plans for it, but I do have one of those cut. But so I enjoy that bowl making material with that interface, and to me it's just so nice to use.
It really is, I agree.
And since I make more of the covers, that's just what I like to use. To me, it just works out right. It's the right thickness, has enough flexibility, but it's not too soft to where it wants to flop everywhere. See that one? I didn't quite get it completely ironed, totally flat. That's okay. The end is straight, so. I talked to Mom yesterday. She's doing really good. She I don't,
Sunday.
was it Sunday? Oh, Sunday, yeah, I forgot yesterday was Monday. So, she's doing really good. She has been watching. Her Nook messed up for a while, and she wasn't able to watch, but she said she's been watching, so.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Love you, Mom. Miss you. But she said she's doing really good. She said they're staying home and not really getting out. Mom's be 78 this year. So, yeah, she's getting up there. And she said it's heck to getting old, that's for sure. So, she's got a bad knee. She's got really bad arthritis, too. I don't know. Well, I don't think hers is super bad. My brother's is. He's got really bad. That degenerative arthritis. Mom's side, almost everyone on Mom's side. I started talking to Aunt Cheryl and Aunt Shirley, but I need to ask them if they have it. I don't know how much they have it. I don't think my Uncle John has it, but I don't know. I have it really. I'm getting it really bad too. But yeah, it's Uncle Calvin. His was really bad, and my other Uncle John, he had it horribly bad too. I think he had RA. I think Uncle Calvin and my other uncle had RA, because Mom says their hands were just, curled up, bad. My friend at work that works for farmers, I can't remember if it was his dad or one of his family had his hands were all gnarled and stuff. And they were closed, and he never could open them up, and he was farming, and somehow they got, I don't know, but it actually forced his hands both open at the same time, and I guess, of course the pain was just incredible, but they straightened up and they never went back. And never had any pain in them after that. It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. That's not something I think I would want. I have that, it's like called basal joint. It's your thumb right here. Mom has it, but she had hers replaced. And I have it really bad. My hand is really huge right there. And it was really painful for several years. But now I don't even feel it. And they say that's what happens, is eventually, it gets so bad that it doesn't heal it, but the pain, you just don't feel the pain anymore. I'm so sick of that phone. I am so sick of it. Oh, yay. Yeah, but Trailer Parking wants us to do it, and I don't want to do it.
Nope. I don't have time.
Well, there's like 20 trailers that he needs located. I don't have the strength to do it. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell him I just can't do it. I mean, the most important thing with us is our fiber company that we locate for. They take precedence over everything. And that means that if I have to have strength to do their locates, not others, So sometimes I've gotten better at saying no.
You really have.
I really have. So let me move my cutting mat real quick and let's lay these out how we're going to do them. I tried this yesterday, and I was telling or the day before, telling Chelle how I thought I wanted to do it. And we're doing a 9.5 by 14. So what I thought about doing was laying this out in the center like so. And like I said, you know, they're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. I was going to lay them all one way, and then I thought, you know, I think it would look better if they're going opposite ways, like this. So it's going to the end of each book, the edge of each book. So, and like I said, I'm not 100% sure how many I'm going to have in order to make the size of the journal. That's why I cut extras. So, well, I'm almost done anyway with this video. So this is what I love it. I was so excited when I did this. So after this is done, we got to start gluing these together and sewing them. So I probably will do all of these and sew them all together. And then after I get them together, because you got to remember, guys, you're taking off 1/4 of an inch on each seam. So that's what I'm thinking. Hold on, let me go grab my thing, my bobber, real quick. Right over here. It's not cut to size. I've got it. We always cut our full material bigger. So it's, I think it's roughly 10 by 17, or however wide this is. So I'm not 100% sure how that is wide. So that's what it looks like, guys. Of course, you know, it's not going to be this wide. It's going to be, wait, that's right. So, like I said, that's why I'm going to wait and sew all these together, and then I'll figure out, and then I can trim them from there, figure out how many I'm going to need to go long thing. And I still haven't showed you guys the border. We discussed how we wanted to do this and which color we wanted on the outside of the flying geese. But this is the border, guys. And I love the colors of it. I'm hoping I'll have enough. So let me do this cut it, because I know I don't need. So that, oh my God. Yeah. And that's the way it's going to look like right there. I don't know how much of the border, because you're still going to be taking a 1/4 inch.
Ooh, that's pretty. Yep.
I like it. I think this is going to be an incredibly pretty journal.
I think it is too, and that's.
I'm
I
excited.
wanted a really soft watercolor.
And that is exactly what it is. So, you know, this is going to be, so this will be the center of the spine. And then from there it will go out the other way. So,
I like it.
Wonder, well, really, they don't go out. In order to go out, you'd have to have them this way. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. Well, this is the way I'll do one side and look at it and see, but really and truthfully, if you want it to go to the edge, it has to point that way and not inside. This one's pointing inside.
You'll figure it out.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to do it different. I'll do it this way, because I really wanted the geese to fly towards the edge of the book instead of the other way. They're flying towards the center of the book. So now they'd be flying away from it. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it right there. That looks much better. I really like that. I think that definitely looks much better. The blue goes so well with this. That's why we chose to do the blue on the outside, since it's going to be touching this. And so, well, guys, I am going to stop this video. I'm going to go ahead and start the next one, part 2. And we'll start by gluing all this together, getting it all sewn. And then we'll go from there and do the border, figure out how wide it's going to be. Like I said, I was wanting to do a 9.5, because I wanted enough of that border to show, but I may only have to do a 9 now, since, you know, I'm 3/4 of an inch smaller than what I started with. So, but okay, guys, please hit the subscribe button. We love for you guys to subscribe, and please hit the like button. And we love you guys. Thank you for being our YouTube family, and thank you so much for visiting. And Chelle will have, I don't know, whatever Chelle does, that's her job. So in the next video, I'll start gluing these together, and we'll start sewing that. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.
See you tomorrow. Bye.